Straight power. You're in the Dogg Zzone for an hour. Come on. You know the number. 1-900 hot dog. 1-900 hot dog. 1-900 hot dog. Yeah, 9,000.
This is the Dogg Zzone 9000, the audio part of the... I keep saying the Constantinople of internet comedy. It's pretty much the sequel to internet comedy at this point. Like, we've relearned agriculture, and now when you say, "Child, do you remember the glory of Rome?" They say, What the hell is Rome? This is... Whatever. See you, Grandpa. And it's a good place. It's a good time. Check out the website at 1-900hotdog.com, where we do not feature white chicks on a regular basis.
I'm so happy that you're not. We didn't expect you to do the intro and stuff. Like, I was still gonna host, but I'm not gonna insist on being the one that brings this. Like, if you're willing to take credit for this, absolutely. Because, like, here's the part where we do the cute bits and the intros. I didn't write that down. I didn't have a cute bit. My bit was like, "You made me watch white chicks. What is your fucking problem?" This is the clearest anyone has ever asked me if I want to fight. The answer is yes.
Okay, so we probably should have thrown the hands while you were over in New York, but I'll do the commute this time.
Yeah, you planned this well in not making me watch white chicks while I was going to meet and be able to physically strike you. Like, that was a smart thing to do, how you timed that out.
I was a little confused for a second because I showed up and no one at the meetup was armed, and I'm like, "Guys, I white chicks a fellow comedian here, right? Like, this is one of those ape shall not kill ape things."
That hadn't happened yet. We would have.
True.
Yeah, there would have been a different reason for me booking a rooftop bar in Manhattan.
One of us goes off the fucking roof.
Yeah, it's old-fashioned rules. We're like, only one of us is taking the elevator. There's only enough room on the elevator for one on the way back down, is how that works.
I thought I liked white chicks as a choice because the other choice was anime. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, white chicks. Let's watch.
Okay, so we're doing the origin story. So the Hot Dog Crew is the backstory here, and me and Sean and Liddy have already went. And so we asked Dennard what was like the piece of media that really started you down this path. What was like your first truly cursed media experience? And like you were not supposed to pick white chicks. This is like it's like an Air Bud rule. Like, it's so unspoken. We never figured someone would try it.
Right.
But
we've written it in since.
Played basketball.
The rules now state white chicks are not allowed to play basketball, which is a good name for a movie if it was the 90s.
I'm glad that I could be the, I guess not talking dog, the hyper-intelligent dog, or I guess he's just a pretty lucky dog. I'm gonna go with luck because I have not been killed, and that means my luck is like crack on right now.
No, Air Bud was good at basketball. Go rewatch that movie. The dog is really good at basketball.
True.
And it was actually a black dog posing as a white dog. Like, that was the unspoken.
Now that I know that race is the unspoken truth of the universe for white chicks, yeah, I guess it was a black dog. Like,
it was everything. You have to assume. Every time.
Everything in your mind, heart, and soul.
We forgot to do intros, so I'm Brockway, and here's a Brockway fact. For an FBI sting, I had to go undercover as Shantae Wayans for 17 years. Unlimited follow-up questions.
I am Sean Elder. I'm a former columnist from Nintendo Power, where I reviewed only the greatest games.
I guess that makes me Dennard Dayle, and I'm responsible for bringing this White Chicks podcast to bear on you. So I'd just like to personally challenge everyone listening to this to find and fight me in real life. My name's Dennard Dayle, once again.
Oh man, I finally have the number 2 headband. This is great. This is what I've been waiting for from my fucking career.
God, do we even want to do plugs on this one? Like, hey Dennard, do you have any books you would like people to associate with the movie White Chicks?
Sure. So I wrote a book recently called How to Dodge a Cannonball. It's about the Civil War and slavery, the second and third worst things to happen to black people. We're going to cover white chicks the first.
Other than white chicks. Yeah, white chicks.
It's a really good union.
A white chick style comedy about the Civil War written by Marlon and Sean Wayans. Just throwing it out there. Just putting that into the universe.
Could they take it to a darker place? I want to see it. Could we go beyond the fucking impossible? Can we go into the outer worlds?
They couldn't be chicks, so they would have to be the Wayans brothers disguised as white women disguising themselves as white men.
I love it. Green light.
I'm great. That sounds like universe shattering. That's fantastic. But yeah, I do have a lot of faith in that book, so check it out if you find me amusing or, want to know more about me so that you are more ready for our fight. I think I include my martial arts styles, which are none, and my physical weaknesses gained from throwing my body at the floor, which are many.
All right, Chuck, what about you? Any thriving young comedy sites you would like to kill by associating with the 2004 movie White Chicks?
Thank you for asking. Yes, I am Seanbaby, disguised as Kim Wayans, for going on 4 years now for an FBI sting operation. I'd like to promote 1-900-HOTDOG.com.
All right, well...
And it's more racist than you think. It is. My chief does not like it.
And I would like to not promote my book. I'm legally obligated to. I'm not going to tell you what the name is because I have to sell copies or I'm going to prison. And that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen associating with this podcast. I don't have a book. I don't have a book out.
There is nothing going on with imaginary anything. There is no sum of money.
Get the name out of your fucking mouth. I swear to God, I'll Will Smith you.
Fair enough.
It's either the law or I guess White Chicks fans. Who would come after us for the White Chicks podcast? I guess everybody, right? You know what? This
I like to
opening
think
is,
it's like time travel rules, or there's like an authority that comes after people specifically for like white chicks related offenses.
Just a time cop.
Yeah, I had managed to go my whole life without actually seeing this. I thought I was.
It's my third time
hoping
seeing
to
it.
die.
Third time.
Holy shit.
I actually really like movies about the comical difference between races. I like that there's never been a good one, but they keep trying. It makes me feel better about like the jokes I wrote in the 90s when I see something like White Chicks. I'm like, God, that's nice. Like standing up against these guys, I feel like progressive.
Isn't that having relativity on your side?
Yeah, it's nice. I love this opening. I think it's our best show opening. I do want to say that it's not quite as good as the White Chicks opening, which is it's like more racial than you were expecting. Like everyone who saw the poster and the trailer for this went in saying, "Oh, this could be a fucking racist movie." But like then there's suddenly two Wayans brothers in brownface doing just zero jokes at maximum enthusiasm, like just chirping in Spanish noises and shaking maracas. And it's like how a racist grade school bully would make fun of a Cuban wedding. So it's a bad first impression. Like it makes you worry that they might do all the races, like a Norbit, but for white supremacists. Like that's the impression that White Chicks gives.
It really is trying to speed run so many bigotries at once. And I think you really caught on to something. Like you come in primed like, okay, what is every horrible thing civilization has told me about black men or white women? I'm ready. I can survive this experience. And they just fucking sneak liver punch you with the fucking maracas. You're like, what the fuck is happening? Why is this happening in White Chicks?
Speedy Gonzalez shit. What is this?
And I wish I could emphasize just how much we're not cutting anything. It's almost a hard jump straight into them doing brown face. Into pretending to be, I think they're supposed to be Puerto Rican. Just because I saw a Puerto Rican flag back there. That's the only credit I will give them.
I'm not an expert on it, but I could not figure it out. I think one of them was supposed to be Dominican and the other one was Puerto Rican. But again, I don't think they know.
I think their comedy can speak for itself.
Oh no, did you take a clip?
Can we get down to business? You got the money?
Aquí. Cuanta la mela. Aira cuanta la mela. Aira cuanta la mela. Aira cuanta la mela. Tell it, papi.
He said that he's not gonna give you one red cent until you tell him what flavor the ice cream is.
Okay, so that's what I mean by zero jokes. It's so broken. Like, they know that's not language. They know he's singing a song, but then the other character's like, yes, he's talking in a human language. Like, no, he's not. It's just shrieking Spanish song lyrics. You know what else I hated is that, you know, in Bad Boys, how they're like being all zany and wacky, sometimes a little racial, but then they fight and you're like, okay, it's a cool action movie. These guys are badasses. These guys in this movie are not badasses. They go from like zany idiot racists to like dickheads who can't fight.
This is the fastest, plainest, most direct way I have ever seen a movie tell you, do not watch this.
Yeah.
If you watch, like, these are the opening seconds. If you watch the movie beyond this, everything that happens afterwards is your fault.
It's on you.
If you watch this carefully, which is only an option if you hate yourself, you notice that it almost resents having to do an establishing shot before jumping right into that fucking Maracas song.
You're right. Yeah.
Like, they hate having to put data between, like, bouts of racism.
Yeah, that was plainly added afterwards. Like, in their script, it was just hard open on Sean Wayne's playing the maracas and singing Guantanamera as though that is what the entirety of the Spanish language is. They were just like, yeah, that's the first. They say you're judged by your opening line. That's the opening line we're coming in on.
Yeah, and it's insane because like you're professional, like, good sketch creators for how long, and you're just ready to jump to the world in a new format, and you decide your just opening pitch is fucking this into a gunfight where the punchline of it is that this is actually a Mobius hate crime because they just decided that these guys were the drug dealers because of their accent.
Right. Exactly.
And again, it slips you again. It is the trickiest hate crime I've ever seen because each time you have like inoculated yourself to one strain of bigotry, like I had finally become numb to the racism when like it throws 4 white girls screaming the word shopping.
yeah, long since dead.
So their drug deal here. They're undercover. They're undercover, but they have racist prosthetics to go undercover. To do a drug deal here that goes sideways, and they're getting chewed out by their boss, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, imagine you're the FBI and you ask 2 of your officers to go undercover, and they come out in full racial prosthetics with like skits planned about racism. Imagine you could not promote them fast enough. Like, you would just be like, these are the best goddamn FBI agents I've ever seen.
We got 2 Axel Foleys here, guys. Okay, I do want to talk about the chief, right? So the chief is chewing them out. This is like just shorthand. We expect this in a movie. And rightfully so. Like, they really fucked this up. They like almost lost the fight to 3 unarmed men who weren't associated with any crimes. And then Marlon takes a call from his girlfriend and he's like, hey, the chief is chewing me out. I can't talk right now. So he hangs up. So she calls the chief. Now, this is kind of cute. The start of something, right? Like, his girlfriend is supernaturally naggy. Women, right? Am I right, fellas? But then they don't even try to land it. Like, he said, he hands the phone to Marlon. He says the exact same shit. Like, hey, no, he's chewing me out. You know this. I just talked to you. Goodbye. The end. Comedy rule of 2s. There's no escalation. She doesn't like take out a billboard ad or something. It's just, if you were teaching a comedy writing class and someone turned this in, you would shoot them in the head like an injured horse. This is limp beyond the capabilities of man's failure. And it's the fucking opening scene.
It's the moment I realized that family movie night had betrayed me.
You watched this on a family movie night?
Who are you not talking to in your family?
So the 3 survivors of fucking white chicks were me, my mom, and my sister. And I must have had a bigger family because I refuse to believe there was 100% survival rate of this film. Like, there is a cousin I'm forgetting about who just took his life after Guantanamera. Like, he just was not feeling it.
And if you go into the family photos, like, crack open the frame and fold the rest of the photo out, there's like a person, a missing brother we don't talk about anymore.
They're in the form of one of the Marlins in whiteface. Like, it's just eating your family from the edges of the photo.
I can't believe they invented a new form of whiteface for this, but okay. But yeah, we would watch these weekly movies, and It was actually a really nice thing. It was kind of like me, my mom, and my sister picking movies in order. It's why I have seen Spice World 6 times, because my sister was all about that.
Well, we all know that's a good movie, right?
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Yeah,
any day.
I enjoyed it. It was like I was actually exposed to a lot of things I wouldn't have otherwise, but also unfortunately white chicks. But other than that, it was sort of my gateway to normal human non-basement culture in a way that I really appreciated, in a way that I could just take white chicks almost as like the cost of doing business.
Okay.
And it's also a very
nice
fair
way to look.
exchange.
This is your Oma Lost Child.
Yeah. And this is kind of a fair exchange because my sister could tell you the plot of Mortal Kombat backwards without using pronouns.
just a solid year there that was like a war of Mortal Kombat to Spice World. back to back.
Both
You
great
have
movies.
just a world where transitions do not exist.
Right.
And then somewhere in there, what, like your mom picks white chicks and you're both just like, fuck you. Are you kidding?
So here's a great thing about diffusion of responsibility. Because obviously I still associated with my mom and sister too, you know. It's like a therapy group, a support group. No one takes credit for picking white chicks.
Of course.
Yeah, why would you?
It's one of those, like, when you just meet old German people, you can't find one Nazi. Evidently, no one picked white chicks.
Somebody was following orders here. Come on.
A perfect description.
Okay, so in the movie, we've established so far that Marlon Wayans, I think his character's name is Marcus, and Sean Wayans plays Kevin.
Yep. sounds
Marcus
right.
has that insane controlling wife, and Kevin's just looking for love. And so they fucked up their case. They got chewed out by their boss. They're looking to make their big break. Like, all so just a paint by the numbers movie. And the next day, they're back in the office. They meet their rival, like, straight-laced FBI agent pair that they hate. And they're going to get the big case that they call the socialite kidnapping case.
To
But-
initiate our hatred of these two, they have them make what I think is the limpest joke in the movie. Because they mistook ice cream for drugs.
Right.
So they say,
Oh, yeah.
we'll call you Hagen and Daz.
yeah.
And
Somehow
Yeah,
one
that
of the
shouldn't have
stronger
made it
jokes
to
in
a
the movie.
paper. God, that's a mean thing to say. It's a really true but mean thing to say.
it's true, like you hear that, and there's not really a attack on someone's fucking humanity baked into the premise of the joke. It is based on an earlier event. Like, you can remember these two at this point in the film, and never again, can remember other events and information and how it relates to their future.
Yeah, I'm going to say something you're not going to like about Haagen-Dazs. The first draft of that joke was probably Ben and Jerry, which means that's a, like, punch-up. That means that's the polish is
Oh, they
Haagen-Dazs.
used that later. There was no punch up. There was no escalating process of we can beat that. It was we can use all of this.
Just throw all, the whole brainstorming meeting is going to the film.
They said
you
no
guys-
bad ideas, and they're the first people that ever meant it.
You guys just took me from, like, a worse world than the one I thought I lived in to an even worse one. Like, it was like fucking
Yeah, you're
volleyball. Like,
welcome.
the set spike
You're
of,
welcome.
like...
Oh, it's only going to get worse.
It's like, this is actually a homophobic joke they pivoted away from. Just kidding. They saved that jewel for later.
I have some takes on this movie I don't think anyone's going to like. We'll get to them. We'll get to them.
So
Get ready to
they,
cut a lot of shit, Jamie.
so they discover they have to there's like the socialite kidnapping case. It's Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie, very thinly veiled stand-ins for them, and they think they're next to be kidnapped. And everybody's like, all the FBI agents are like, "Oh God, I don't want to deal with those bitches." Can you imagine? And so Kevin and Marcus are the only ones that will do it. They go to pick them up at the airport, and they have to drive them to the Hamptons. That's
Right.
their mission.
I think somewhere along the line they were considering, like, living way more just some kind of fucking Simple Life parody, and they gave up on that very quickly.
Yeah, there's kind of not a lot of Nicole and Paris actual jokes in there. Like it's very thinly veiled. I think the dog is like the small obnoxious dog is the closest they get to being like, you see what we're doing here? And the rest of that is just like, hey, aren't women crazy? Like we picked these two notable celebrities because we have nothing to say about them.
Foundationally, they just seem to have no understanding of women or socialites or these two characters they're parodying. Like it feels like when you're playing Grand Theft Auto and there's like those jokes that were written by British people about American culture, and it's just like such surface level shallow shit where you're like, well, that's kind of nothing. The whole movie's like that. It's just like women shop. And you're like, okay, let's go cut to the funny shopping. It's like, no. The joke's done. We finished. That was it. Bye.
It's so weird seeing the level of hate from such a limited pool of information. Like they are making fun of women for what I can only describe as rumor.
Is that what's wrong with Grand Theft Auto? I didn't know that. I'm sorry, that blew my fucking mind. Like, that makes perfect sense now. Yeah. I've always been like, watching Grand Theft Auto, I've always been like, strangely like, what are they doing? Like, why? This is such a wild direction. Like, and then to end on nothing.
Yeah, they think they get us. They don't. They did.
Okay, I didn't know they were British. I thought they were from LA or something.
No,
I'm sorry.
That is actually
really
very educational for me too. It is extremely weird to get new information from a white chicks discussion. It almost feels like I've betrayed the premise. Like the mind
I learned
hole.
something. I learned something on this. Something helpful to me in my understanding of the world on this podcast about white chicks. I didn't think that was gonna fucking happen.
The first thing that Not Paris says, by the way, is we already gave to the United Negro Fund.
Yep. These are pretty obviously FBI agents. Like they're dressed in FBI agent costumes and they walk up to them like FBI agents in what I think is pre-planned. Like I think they know the FBI is going to meet them and they're so racist that they're like, oh no, you must be from the United Negro College Fund. Like
here on the airport tarmac waiting for me to get off my plane.
And it's one of those moments of like 4-dimensional hatred where you don't know which part of it your brain hates first. And I think my winner in the long run is somewhere behind that joke. There's this idea of this like social consciousness or critique of fucking farcical or whatever. And you opened with the fucking Maracas song. Who the fuck are you?
To be, again, I think it's like when there's a really brightly colored lizard in nature. It's like, do not eat this. Don't consume this media. Like, right off the bat.
Exactly. Like a poisonous
frog.
Right
off the bat. Yeah, this is a brightly colored bird. Yeah. And you're like, no bird is poisonous. Somehow there's a poisonous bird. Like, yeah, it was trying to tell you the whole time.
It's such a weird scene, too, because these are two people, media is so much more consolidated. Everyone's sort of staring at the same two objects of, like, we're starting to blow up the world and The Simple Life is on. So everyone there's a free just bank of jokes that this just gives up on immediately in order to invent a new form of whiteface.
You think that they're like, that at least they're going to do something with that, right? Like, when you hear that they want to do this as a movie, I can almost understand greenlighting it because you're like, oh, you're going to go after, like, the sort of advanced racism of upper-class white women and, like, how they see the world versus how you see the world. No, they don't get into any of that.
No.
Oh, yeah, that is untouched territory.
Yeah, you at least think, like, that's not a lot, but that's something. That you want to get into that. That's probably how they got this green light. And then they just did like 1960s jokes about how women be crazy and women be shopping and like, and then racism, 1960s racism throughout the rest. Like that. Why any of this? Why did you need to dress up as a woman?
Yeah.
This is a weird metaphor, but it feels almost like Wacky Racers. And each car is like hatred of a different demographic. And the entire episode, like, hatred of white women is like Snidely Whiplash. Like, it keeps on stopping to cheat, and other cars keep slipping it.
So it never gets its chance to shine.
So it never gets its chance. And then in the last 2 minutes, fucking hatred of black women just hits the fucking gas.
Yeah, dude.
It's like fucking Twisted Metal just knocking other cars aside off the road into the fucking water, like a clown with flaming hair. There's probably a joke about a flaming weave somewhere that your mind is numb to at that point. It's taking the lead.
It's your classic racial rubber banding. We know what you're saying.
It's classic racial wacky racist rubber banding. Yeah.
Classic, exactly. The game
when
cheats.
the AI is like, no, this racism is falling behind. We got to get that out in front.
I think one of the things that shocks me in this movie, more so than just the racism, is how quickly we accelerate to this insane plot. Like, we meet these girls, they get tiny little scars in their face. Like, we can't go to the Hamptons. They're like, well, if they don't go to the Hamptons, we can't bait the kidnappers with their, like, kidnappable bodies. I've got it. Cut to fucking the FBI costume team dressing them up in whiteface.
There's a racist FBI costume team, like, on call. If you need to have racist prosthetics, there's a whole team on call.
It's the best.
That's fucking crazy. Like, do they get a CSI show?
That's a great question. Law and Order Special Hatred Unit. I don't know.
SHU,
okay,
yeah.
So there's like a 3-minute montage where they're painting them white, and then these two inhuman monsters come out. Like, the poster does not prepare you to see these things in motion. They look like fucking Jiminy Glick and Jiminy Glick.
This movie is set in the 21st century. There has to be something that wasn't what comes out of this fucking scene.
I wrote a Seanbaby joke for this.
Oh, please. I'd love to hear it.
They look like the T-800 walked into a nail salon instead of a biker bar and said, I need your skin, your hair, and your titties.
Holy shit. Okay, hold on. I do have a Terminator joke I wrote somewhere in here.
Yes.
Let's see how close they are. I just said they look like half-destroyed Terminators. I didn't get into the nail salon, but yes, I love that. Yours is much better. Yours is a better me joke.
That is good stuff. That is good. It's like, it's that, or if, I don't know, maybe if Buffalo Bill drank a lot.
I also have Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie hollowed out by bees.
God.
And my last one is advanced sex robots forgotten for eons at the bottom of the sea and reanimated by future aliens to answer questions about what humanity used to be, but all they could do is pretend to suck dick.
God. Okay, I have one more. They look like a burn unit drag show.
Oh shit. They're monstrous.
They are monsters. Like, you're like, well, no one would buy this. They immediately forget their disguise. Both of them, the second a male gaze touches them. Like, some guy's like, oh, hello. And they're like, what the fuck did you just say? Like that. Like, they completely forget their whole deal. And they do that 20 more times.
Yeah.
I got this for you. Kiss my black ass. Look, cut it out. What? He looking at me like I'm some kind of girl, man. You are a girl. And you better start acting like one or you're going to be an unemployed girl.
Oh, damn. Sure like to cut that cake.
Hey, yo, hold it. Hey, yo, you trying to look at my lumps?
Hey, trannies on dowels.
That joke you just witnessed, I hope you liked it. I hope you loved it. I hope it spoke to you. I hope that it tickled the part of your brain that brings back childhood joy. Because we are going down permutations of that shit for 2 hours in this movie.
Yeah, that's their joke. That's
keep
their
forgetting.
joke.
Yep.
They just keep forgetting, and I guess everyone else has been, like, shot in the head in past FBI fuck-ups in this movie because no one is picking up the trail of clues they're putting down, including his wife's whole Terminator thing. I guess we're a very Terminator podcast today.
They look like Terminators.
Like, better movies trying to kick their way into that brain space that is currently white chicks. But while he's being hunted by his wife, who, this is what drives me insane. Okay, a lot drives me insane. This is the most mundane thing that drives me insane. In this plot, she knows he's an FBI agent. She knows he dresses up and goes on wild vaunts of dumb shit. And she gets this data and she's he's cheating on me because fucking the cloud has to sprint ahead of the rubber banding. The rubber banding kicks in.
Yep.
The misogyny rubber banding has to get out ahead of the racism for once.
Yeah.
Or kind of side by side.
I was going to say that the plot has a coherence for like a comedy movie, and then it also kind of falls apart because they're not like two guys in this disguise doing a thing. There's like a full, like, If it was a scheme, you'd call it a Turk. Like the FBI is controlling every aspect of this entire hotel. They have FBI agents like as the cashier and taking bags. And so like it's this huge sting operation to catch a kidnapper. And in a way that you're like, well, okay, this is insane. This would never work. But also, I don't think the other FBI agents know about their undercover white costumes yet.
That is correct. It is essential to this plot, them getting in trouble, their ending scheme, that no one knows that they went to the racism lab.
Right.
Stuffed.
Except for those racism lab people who were sworn to secrecy, I guess. They didn't go back to work and say, we just dressed up Sean and Marlon Wayans like white girls. It's the craziest shit we've ever done.
Okay, there was like 7 of them. It was a whole department. It had to have cost them like $200,000.
Easily.
Like billing, and through government billing, at least.
They had a briefcase just full of titties. They opened it up, you could see it. Like just different prosthetic titties for Sean and Marlon Wayans.
They just had to call in guys from the DARPA white-face lab.
Yeah, they did this instead of like buying a tank or something. Like this is like a line item. There's a budget for this. We have a trace for this. What's particularly insane to me about the central conceit of this movie is you assume they're going to do a like, we're going to dress up as white women and pretend to be somebody they've never seen. Classic con. Like we're the countess, you know? We're royalty coming in, and you don't know, so you don't want to say anything. You're like, well, they're very rich and important. I can't say that they look like bog bodies. Like, I can't say that. So I have to pretend. But no, the central conceit of the movie is they're real people. Everybody knows the real person. Right. All of their friends are at this party, and they see these horrid monstrosities roll up that look like they ate them and are trying to become them, and they're like, oh yeah, those are my friends. I see nothing wrong here. I've known you all my life. That's clearly my friend. And they, to the extent that they know that they're supposed to be 2 different creatures, like there's no discerning between those creatures.
I couldn't tell them apart at all.
It is such an insane train of logic. Like you almost think when their fucking 3 friends meet, they're just gonna smash cut to shoving them into the same hotel as the other 2. Maybe that's just a better universe of white chicks. No, I'm not gonna punch up white chicks. I'll go fucking insane.
I don't mind. I think the better movie is they kidnap those 3 friends, and then they get like, I don't know, some fun character actors, Luis Guzman, Paul Giamatti, and you dress them up like Keanu Reeves. Those 3, you dress them up like white chicks. Now you got 5 white chick disguises.
Now you're doing a Tu Wong Fu
it's like a Tu Wong Fu.
And, those 3 picks take us away from the core of the movie, which is, your thundering jungle heart could never impersonate a white woman or something. And it goes to so many places.
It's funny because it's not even consistent with that, because their best friends are like, hey, there's something a little different about you. You just get a little taller. And then it cuts to the 2 horny guys, and they see them, and they call not the Wilson sisters, like, that's the Wilt Chamberlain sisters. Like, they can see that these are giant 200-pound plastic monsters. But they're the only ones. They're the only ones. And but they still don't know it's different people. They just think like...
there's a countdown in this conversation. There's a gravity well I feel is pulling towards and not touching. And I know it's my heart trying to save itself. So Terry Crews has an interesting character in this situation.
Okay.
In this party they walk into.
Yep. And it's not apparent that he's a full Uncle Ruckus yet, but he's an Uncle Ruckus.
He's an Uncle Ruckus. He's a specialty Uncle Ruckus. I would call him the sort of the living avatar of a where to white woman at joke.
Yep.
It's so disrespectful of you guys to spoil the movie length setup to a joke.
You're right.
That they're doing here, because he comes in early, right? They show up to this socialite party pretending to be these 2 white women, and Terry Crews is a professional football player, and he shows up and he's just like across the room. He sees Marlon Wayans dressed up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm in love. That's her," right? And then this is so early in the movie. For the rest of the movie, we're setting up a joke, one joke, only one, with his whole character. And then at the very end of the movie, I mean, we've already spoiled it. It turns out he's an Uncle Ruckus, and he hates black people. And you're like, you just ruined that whole ride for the people listening to this at home.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm sorry for that. Because at first it's sort of just like he has a fetish. He's like, ooh, all these snow bunnies. I'm going to ski jump off the white bunnies. You're like, okay, I get what he's saying. He's inventing a new type of racism that we don't quite speak, but like we kind of get it. That is not gross. Plus Terry Crews like pulls it off. Like, I was like, yeah, I bet Terry Crews has sex with white women. Sure. Why not?
The really fascinating thing about this character, who is one of the worst things I've ever fucking seen, is Terry Crews is a charm factory, and he attacks these lines with as much ability as I think anyone possibly could.
Absolutely.
And it leaves me imagining somehow there is actually a worse world where not even a bad actor, just another person was saying every version of... The first words he says are, a white girl with a black ass. And it's just anyone else saying those words for an hour and 45 minutes. And I think we would have had new race riots.
Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti can pull it off. Yeah, he's that good.
Paul Giamatti.
Oh, Paul Giamatti doing like a shoot 'em up thing in this. This would be interesting.
Yeah.
Right?
That's exactly what I was picturing, yes.
So I think that universe and this one are the only two intact ones left. Like, all the others just collapsed into white chicks' holes.
Oh, just like Terry Crews.
I think that they wrote a lot of the movie around this scene because the rivals come over and they're like, they start to do like a Mean Girls thing. But they're like, oh, we're not girls. We're like black men. So we have special black man abilities, like Yo Mama jokes. So they start having a Yo Mama joke off, which is something that the Wayans brothers feel strongly that they are good at because they actually put out a card game called The Dozens that's just mama jokes. I have some here. This one is a giant woman in a bikini. It says, Yo Mama's so fat, she carries a microwave like a beeper. Just a real coherent comedy sensibility on all of these. Because, see, she carries the microwave because she's so fat, you see, and she thinks... Okay, here's a good one. You'll love this one. Your mama's so ugly, her Siamese twin committed suicide. See, that's fun for a lot of reasons. Like,
I'll take it over this movie. It implies that there is a level of ability above that they're capable of that is above this movie. So like, yes, this is hack work for them.
Just for fun, I want you to try to picture the illustration for that last one I read. Your mama's so ugly, your Siamese twin committed suicide. How do you think the world's greatest artist would illustrate that?
It's a man with two heads scenario. So just another head on the body, but the other head is kind of hot. And it's like lolling limply with like a maybe X's fries.
Interesting. Dennard, do you have a...
I'm going to go with a half-broken mirror and a drop of blood out the side. Just some real horrifying shit.
Oh, that's nice. Imply the horror. No. What this is a very, very racial, what they thought was Siamese, but just as sort of an amalgamation of East Asian stereotypes. Joined at the side with a woman dressed exactly the same, red, frilly, lacy shirt with blue skirt, weirdly hairy legs. I don't know what that's about. One of them they're having a picnic with 2 plates of food, and one of them is being literally hung from a tree at this very moment, but they've been dead for weeks.
Wow, it's horrifying and incomprehensible.
I'm sorry I said that thing about implying that they have a level of ability above. I've never been so wrong so fast.
Well, we could skip
I'm
past
starting
that.
to think, because I was so young, I really do think I may have just imagined most of In Living Color, like that show just doesn't fucking exist.
I loved that show as a kid. Like, I switched to that from Saturday Night Live because it like really spoke to my like 13-year-old sensibilities. But yeah, none of it really holds up.
Okay, so
the glorious show that you remember is just in your imagination. You go back and it's all going to be white chicks. Like if you go back to your childhood in general, it's just a field of white chicks.
White chicks all the way fucking down.
A bleak field of white chicks where nothing can grow.
Yep. But make them gay.
They're
gay white chicks.
Oh wait, we've got some of those jokes. They've got that in the bag.
Yeah.
They're loading that gun.
Oh yeah.
All right, so they do a shopping. We got to do a shopping scene. Like every every single setup to a bit in this movie is like, you knew this was going to be in the movie as soon as you heard the premise. You're like, oh, okay, they got to go shopping now.
I want to stop you. I'm sad we skipped the wheelchair. I feel like the wheelchair demonstrates...
we forgot the wheel. I thought in the Terry Crews... All right.
I feel like that demonstrates their... it's almost like a Family Guy gag where he says, you know what they say, once you go black, you'll need a wheelchair. And it's Terry Crews, so it almost works. Like, his comic timing is just very professional. And then, just to put a button on that, a woman, presumably he fucked before, just like rolls up in a wheelchair just to be like, oh, hey, Terry Crews, I'm that woman you fucked until their spine collapsed, I guess. But then they don't go anywhere with it. But it is like a full on like wrong reality, like Family Guy cut in.
It will become their primary callback throughout the movie. You're like, okay, that was the setup, maybe. Like, where are you going to go with that? And they're like, baby, I'm going to go right back to the start again and again. That's not how that works. That's not how a callback works.
Just to get the precise pH of this movie, just two small notes. After the black girl with a white girl's ass line, he does, in fact, add, I'm taking that home to mama.
Yeah,
as he
not
just
great writing.
Locks in on Marlon. Like, we are really stuck on this Terminator thing today. I know that, but you have to understand that he is a race fetish Terminator. Like, they sent that back in time, just make sure that we nuke ourselves.
And again, this is the most lovable character in this movie.
This is the most lovable character.
Yep.
And the other weird thing about this movie is that for as chaotic and pointless as everything is, they are very attached to what they think is structure. And if you are pirating, I stole this, fuck them, I'm not paying, whatever. If you are watching this movie legitimately, you might notice that at exactly 20 fucking minutes they are putting on their Chimera masks. But I've been holding us back from shopping. The purity and glory of shopping.
So yeah, you knew the shopping scene. Like, everybody that heard this premise wrote this entire movie in their heads. And like, it's the movie you wrote in your head when you heard the premise, but just like add worse comedy and more racism and like more women hating into it. It was in 2004. Add 2004 to it. It's pretty accurate for its time. But they're doing the clothes shopping bit, and it's exactly what you think. Like, there's a couple of young perverts that are peeping up skirts, and oh my god, they see balls and they want to throw up. And then like Marlon and Sean get in the dressing room with the other women, and they're like, they get super horny watching them change. Women's clothes are hard to fit into. Women be shopping. Women be crazy.
There's a scene where Jennifer Carpenter has like a full 3-minute emotional breakdown about how fat she is. And she's like very, very, very thin. And that's the joke, I guess. But like she just keeps going. And it came from nothing. He's like, ooh, you look really sexy in that outfit. She's sexy? I'm so fat. And then just sort of keeps saying that. And there must have been an hour of footage, and they're like, God, how do we cut this down to 3 minutes?
I believe I had that covered when I said women be crazy.
It is one of the peak women be crazy ones. She shouts, I'm Tina, the talking tummy, while grabbing her stomach.
Yeah.
And
she also shouts the N-word at one point. Like, she shouts some stuff.
So this was in the car. This is in the car on the way here. And it's one of the worst scenes in the movie, in that a lot of the movie is inventively hateful in ways you don't see. This scene is special because they mechanically march through the rap song comes on. They say they drop 2 N-bombs. Okay, white girls say it too. And it's not so much what's happening. It is, but you are almost numb to it at that point. But it has to keep throwing these liver punches where it's just going to do it after all this wackadoo crazy shit that you don't know what's going to happen next in the most robotic, straightforward manner possible.
That's the worst part of this movie. And like, that happens so many times, and it's like, it's the worst part of being executed. It's like why they give you the bag when you're going to be executed. Because the worst part is like the march down there to see it, right? You don't want to watch and like the anticipation of it. But like, this is being executed without the bag every time. Like, you just have your eyes wide open walking. Yeah. You're like, I know what this is. I know what's going to happen. And there's nothing I can do about it.
There's a moment here that is like kind of accidental and meta, but probably the best joke in the movie, where they're singing the Vanessa Carlton song, and they say, "Hey, take it away, Wayans Brothers." And they don't know the words to the Vanessa Carlton song, and that's what makes them really suspicious. Like, they're constantly saying things like, "I'm a black man," and they're like, that was a weird thing for my white lady friend to say. But here they don't know Vanessa Carlton song, and they're like, "I don't know about these fucking girls. Something's wrong." I just thought that was very funny that's the only time
something's
anyone
off, but
gets suspicious.
they do
The closest
shop.
it came to blowing their cover. Yeah.
They're being followed by the rival FBI agents who are doing. They have one running joke that they do. I'm just gonna play their first instance of it.
Okay. Who would you do? Janet Reno or Rosie O'Donnell?
Oh, come on.
And you gotta kiss him and go down on him.
What? Are you kidding me?
And death is not an option.
That's the extent of the joke.
I hope it
Yeah,
tickled that part of your brain. Because every time these motherfuckers are on screen, they are going to just name someone who doesn't look like Halle fucking Berry or some shit. And present touching them as something like putting your dick in a blender and drinking the remains.
And later on,
rough.
they do one where they're like Pam Anderson, or I forget who the other one was, but two attractive women. They're like, "Oh, but they both have a yeast infection." What is the point of that? What does that one prove? We broke out of the mold a little bit there, and you're like, okay, so what are you gonna do with that? And they're like, nothing. We're gonna go right back in the mold, because they do it again, and it's back to the original joke format of two hideous women.
Again, the way that it keeps slipping me, when I am finally braced for hate, it goes back to being physically gross in some way.
Yeah, there's a lot of fart jokes we're overlooking.
I do want to talk about the farts, but there's a scene here where after the shopping, a purse snatcher steals, I think it's Sean's bag, and so he chases after the purse snatcher, and the movie establishes that these guys are not physically imposing men, but here in this scene, he's the fastest man on the planet. So he, dressed as the white woman, is chasing him down and tackles him, and there's no arrest or anything. The guy's just like, "Why'd you do this for just a bag?" And he goes, "It's not just a bag, it's Prada," which is a sad whimper of a joke, Left 4 Dead in a romantic comedy 3 decades ago. But I think it points out the fundamental flaw with the structure of the film. This is the reverse of the trope, not a subversion. These movies are supposed to make the white people more black, right? It's supposed to help the squares understand black culture. The whites are supposed to start saying shizzle, homeboy. Grandma's supposed to hit the chronic. You rap. You've seen this movie 1,000 times. But in this one, the black characters are learning the value of white. And I know how this is going to sound, but whatever they were trying to go for, it is status quo propaganda. And that's what's so fucked up about it to me.
It is, absolutely. You're right. It's on the side. I don't know. They surely didn't mean to do this.
Is this
on purpose,
the shadow over Innsmouth of racial comedy? Everyone just finds their inner core white girl.
Yeah, this is pro-whitey propaganda.
This is pro-whitey in a way that is really unusual for the genre. If you're to watch the Queen Latifah Steve Martin one, or True Identity, or Marcy X, or God, there's so many of them. Soul Plane, those movies fundamentally are about the default culture adopting the more fun black culture. This is just completely opposite.
Yeah, this is.
I will say
they feel the rich history of Prada wiping away all of that jungle nonsense that they brought in here.
I just don't think anybody needs to hear the lesson. It's really fun in America to be white and rich. I think they assumed.
Yep.
That's not a controversial viewpoint that you need to do a movie about. And then at the end, we all learn, yeah, we knew that. We knew that part. That's the problem. Originally.
I think the thing that always kills me during this is sometimes I like to think about what a movie thinks I'm like. It assumes this is what I want to see.
This is you.
And for white chicks, there is a huge go fuck yourself factor to that.
Exactly.
This is what the Wayans brothers think you're like.
Yeah.
I will say that scene, the chase scene, only genuine laugh that was somewhat close to what they intended that this movie got out of me. And it's just the joke that they meant from that scene when the guy grabs a purse and runs away, and then Sean just runs him down is oh, because a woman couldn't do that. A woman couldn't run that fast, and she wouldn't be like brave like that, which that sucks. But
just another point for the omnidimensional hate crime. Just a lap into wacky race.
Just up in the little corner of the margin. Let's keep a little tally. But they keep, like, to sell that, they keep doing the shot over the criminal's shoulder as Sean just slowly runs faster and faster and runs him down. Only he's still in those terrifying prosthetics. And it's so fucking... It's like he's being run down by a woman exploding in slow motion. And it's so fucking scary. It's like an Aphex Twin video. You're just like... Fucking, it loops back around to so scary that it's funny again, and like I really did laugh for a long time at that scene.
Suddenly being chased by fucking Nemesis.
Like, that is, you're right, when he looks over his shoulder, that's the scariest fucking thing that you could imagine back there. It's an out of control sex bot just coming to tear you apart. And good job, that was close. That was, I mean, you didn't fully intend that.
Yeah. There's a moment coming up where he gives cornrows to Busy Phillips. And this is one of those moments where I was like, okay, the screenwriter remembers that these guys are supposed to have like black people powers, right? Like in this kind of movie, we should have had at least 5 gags where they do something that's suspiciously not white. Like, they should be rapping all the time or something, or I don't know. I think I know this is going to sound, but I think the movie could benefit from much, much more racism, right? You get what I'm saying, right? We can cut all this, Jamie. My point is...
It could have... I see. There's a universe where this has a point or a direction or an idea. Like, it has thoughts about race and racism instead of just vomiting
they take
out
our racial
at you.
Stereotypes and they use that as the plot or the jokes. And this is just not... They somehow wrote an entire race-swapping, gender-swapping movie without understanding gender or racial stereotypes. These guys, Sean and Marlon Wayans in this movie, they're just a couple of real weird people. They're not specifically black. And that's... You know what I mean? That's the problem I have. Not racist. Put it on the record.
I could at least understand that would be a universe where there would be a reason that this movie happened, and right now I can't figure it out. Like, it has that dodecahedron of hate thing where if the credits were not slammed on it, I could not tell you the beliefs or identity or track record of the people that wrote it. Like, it could be a back and forth between an imperial wizard and some fucking Jakob guy.
Jakob guy.
Holding signs on different ends of the fucking A train, drawing increasingly more hateful cartoons of the world that they believe. That slowly they find camaraderie and love in just their hatred for flesh. The movie hates meat. The movie thinks that meat should not be.
Story by Sean Wayans, screenplay by David Duke and Jakob.
Communicating via semaphore at all times. So we're on to the slumber party scene. That's where she braids her hair.
Right.
He braids her hair. There's a slumber party scene in a 2004 comedy. Like, this was a hack joke in the 60s, and we're like, grown women do slumber parties. It's so inexplicable what they might think of women, and I want to give 2 examples here. That the women, these are the actual female characters, not the Wayans brothers, like, mistakenly being put in charge of the slumber party and booking the wrong stuff. That would have been, I don't know, at least recognizably a joke structure. No. The actual women are in charge of the slumber party, and what they do is pull out a dildo and say, let's practice, show us how you give head on this, because that's what us women do when we're together alone.
Now that we have been unobserved for 45 seconds.
Yeah, like that's what they do. The other thing they do for their slumber party is book male strippers to come perform a rape fantasy on them.
And this doesn't go well because Sean now all of a sudden can fight. So he completely fucks up the strippers. And
they knew that. Everybody knew that as soon as I said.
Their combat ability ramps up whenever it can move towards some kind of hate crime.
Mm-hmm.
Like something that would just get these federal agents thrown into like Fort Bragg or some shit.
Just what is our observation about women here? That they love performing fellatio pantomime for each other, and they wish they got attacked by strange men more? I don't think that's a valid observation.
It's one of those stories that's much more about the storyteller than the story itself.
And again, it goes back to the thing where it all feels like rumors about each group, and it's one thing that's kind of weird to me about it is I totally get the fucking hate Gatling gun refracting back on its owner, like how you see yourself. But it's weird to me how basic the hateful things about black dudes too are. Like, I think there would be some kind of like deep cut shit, like they maybe one of them has like a hotepi attitude or something, but it also just sounds like a white guy from like 20 years earlier than the movie is set writing black jokes.
I don't know. Like, I understand that you don't know how women are, but you gotta know, like, what some kind of people are like.
It's like, do you know what you are like? Do you know what people think you are like? Do you know what
men are like? Could you at least, because this doesn't come across like you know what men are like either.
Have you ever worn a full latex suit? Because they go to the beach in their fucking Jiminy Glick suits, like with bikinis over them. Like, they just look like beach balls that have somehow come to life to, like, beg for death. What have you made? Kill me!
Yeah, I've gotten really distracted by the flashing light of misogyny that I really have overlooked how much of a swamp creature they have decided to make these costumes.
Yeah, it's hard to, like, I mean, we've done this. It's a bosom buddies or whatever. It's a Mrs. Doubtfire if you want to put prosthetics on.
Absolutely.
Like, there's a way to do this where you don't look like just an absolute abomination, where you don't look like my shadow self that has absorbed all of my corruption. Like,
yeah.
It's just this melting inhuman thing. It's so terrifying at all times. And, like, it's kind of funny how nobody comments on the monsters in their midst. If that's the metaphor of the movie.
They're crimes against God, and that you never stop realizing that.
Like, you see these suits, and you think, what kind of, like, hideous cartoon, like, drawn by, like, a fucking J.K. Rowling acolyte has been created here? What is this thing?
It is a hateful political cartoon by somebody that can't draw. It's like early AI does a hateful political cartoon. You're
Right.
like, oh, this
But
doesn't
about
understand what
whom?
faces are.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not quite sure who it's about, but you know it's mean-spirited.
We're doing an all monster bosom buddies, and, like, on paper that sounds great.
Right.
It's wild that that's not fun.
But this is when a second movie starts, because now Sean Wayans wants to impress this reporter, so he turns back into his regular human self, but not him. He's like, I'm Terry Cruz. I want to impress you by pretending to be this pro football player. So he's doing, like, a fake persona that just to, like, fuck a girl. He's doing, I don't know what, She's All That or whatever. He's doing, like, a second zany comedy.
He's adding recursion to this. There is a still shit but better version of this where they keep recursing, and I could almost understand there would be, like, some kind of fucking point here. Like, if after this, I don't know, maybe she's a CIA agent, she's just trying to dose the water supply for some fashion-related reason, and then maybe the white girls or some kind of thing going on.
And she's like, the only way we can save the breakdancing orphanage is if we take this little league team to the championship. And to do that, we need to stay overnight in this haunted house. And you're like, God damn it, this is too many movies.
Maybe this is another direction. Like, maybe if reality melting and, like, I guess I want this to be the man who was Thursday, but just ridden by an imperial wizard.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
Again,
fucking
a better
Might be
movie.
what this is.
Yeah. A better, more consistent film. I'll tell you what took me out of this is that I didn't understand that Terry Crews, they just said he's a pro ball player, right? And so I foolishly assumed, perhaps these are my prejudices to deal with. I assumed football player because he's shaped like Terry Crews. And they say, no. He's a basketball player.
So you caught an exact glowing fuck up in this. It hits me every time because I don't know if it's possible to look more like a football guy than Terry Crews.
Mm-hmm. He's a 6'3", 250-pound of pure muscle basketball player?
It would be
like a horizontal shack?
He's a horizontal shack. He's like a double Xavier McDaniel.
I guess in this world where these monsters are real, maybe basketball has different rules and football has different rules, where a football coach does not shoot a tranquilizer gun at Terry Crews to try to take him back to training camp, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Like in this world, basketball is how many basketballs you can eat, and Terry Crews is really good at that.
Oh man, I always remember his line. I thought it was the beach party, but I think it's the dinner party you're talking about. But when Terry Crews just says, "Let's go hunting," I am struck by the fact that I think if he was not the one saying it, I would physically turn off the film.
Yep. He makes all of this shit work. Up until the very last thing he says, I think everything he says works. Okay, this is the scene I maybe want to talk about the most. So Marlon's on a date with Terry Crews because he like bought her at the auction. And she looks like a corpse found in an ancient volcanic eruption. And it's just something about this date scene, like the makeup is just wrong more than it is other parts in the movie. And then Terry Crews, they put on Vanessa Carlton. Like Marlon puts it on the radio and Terry Crews sings the whole thing. And it is the best. I love the scene. For a couple reasons. At first, Terry Crews is 10 out of 10 charming. He's the best. But I love it as a writing failure because in this scene, Marlon is terrified that Terry Crews, this unstoppable muscle monster, is going to dominate him sexually. So the challenge given to the screenwriter, or all 6 screenwriters, was this character needs to put a song on the radio that no one can rape to. And here's what's crazy is they thought they came up with something. They're like, okay, well, no beef monster can get a boner near this song. It is the wrong answer to a question only a madman would ask. And it's amazing that it's in a movie and it's like, it's fucking fun. Like, I guess my real point is, how is Terry Crews' game not working on Marlon? I get it's 2004 and everyone was afraid of gay, but I think it was a mistake for the casting director to make the unthinkable sexual threat so lovable and beautiful. I just want to say it that they should have cast Dean Cain if Marlon Wayans is supposed to not want to fuck him. Don't put our hero on a date with this cute muscle hunk who steals every scene and expect us to go, oh, I hope they don't fuck. It's stupid. Jamie, leave all this in. I will tell Terry Crews to his face he's funny and beautiful.
This is what happens when you overcomplicate your hate. You forget basic principles like you would do most things with Terry Crews, but they're so
We're all in agreement, right? A beautiful man.
Yeah, you need to pivot. Like, I understand they wrote this movie and they wrote this part, but like, as a filmmaker, when Terry Crews comes on set and just starts fucking stealing the show like this, you need to pivot and be like, okay, so this is actually a love story between Terry Crews and Marlon Wayans. And like, I'm sorry that the world is not ready for that in 2004, but that's the movie we have to make, because that's what everybody's rooting to happen now.
So this is our, I think, 5th rewrite of this film to something that does not increase your like blood toxicity.
Yeah, if we wound up happy at the end and they just got married and we're like, we love each other, whatever. Like
Marlon discovers something about himself.
Yeah, you can get like an endorphin from that.
At least somebody has an arc there, because that doesn't. I guess that's spoilers. If somebody was expecting this to end with satisfying character arcs, no, nobody learns anything.
Does it count as an arc if Terry gets worse? I would say that Marlon
a negative arc is an arc.
That counts.
I think Marlon gets worse. The wife character somehow in every scene is just a bigger caricature of this elemental angry black woman thing that leads me to assume that they just have not like seen one.
Yeah, they are all Terry Crews in their personal lives. They only date white women.
Yeah.
That's why they got that character. Speaking of racism,
black body swinging.
They get to dinner and Sean Wayans is parking cars somehow. And it's like this weirdly wrong version of the movie trope, when like a black character gets mistaken for a valet. It's just like this, I guess he's off camera having his own like zany romp and he got a job as the valet. Is that what happened? Am I crazy?
I think the only way you can read the scenes like that in this movie is that there's some kind of sci-fi shit going on, or there's just different racism in this world.
Okay. So
like it's just new rules in this reality.
So yeah, sure. I have. Yeah. The same swamp monsters. Something just occurred to me. They might have like screenplay powers, whereas like this character needed to get to that scene. And he's like, well, how do I get there? Oh, look, there's a part here in this scene for a valet. Boink. And he can, as a black character, he can just teleport into that role. I don't know. It's just a theory. It's a half-baked theory. It just occurred to me. I'll work on it.
That theory could hold water, though, because they definitely do not go back and reread anything that happens here.
No.
This is a 0.5 draft. If I could go back to that auction for a second, the one where he buys Marlon Wayans, and I think when it comes to the auction of a person, I think that's the only like basic race hate joke they skipped, or maybe that's not basic enough. Maybe that's why it doesn't happen.
It does seem weird they didn't do anything with it. Where you're like, oh no, a racial comedy with a person auction? Oh, this could be a dark joke. That's like it didn't seem to occur to them that
it's just not in their list. It's not part of their field of dreams vision for the perfect hate dodecahedron.
Can we get away from the implied rape slave auction and get to the club scene?
Oh, okay, so we want to go to overt. I feel that.
We're skipping the farts.
Oh, we can't. All right,
okay.
Yeah,
I didn't take a clip of the farts, if that's what you're hoping for.
It's okay. But they did have a fart.
So
off. She farts on Terry Crews to like she's doing everything she can to like de-escalate the sexual situation, but nothing works. She's like biting her toenails off and farting. And he's like, oh, I love when ladies fart on me. Fart. And he farts back on her. Just in the restaurant, they're having a fart contest. Not the first fart gag in the movie either. Earlier,
no, we skipped most of them.
Marlon farted so hard he was like shooting his limbs in each direction.
It really marks it as a terrible movie from this specific time period.
The club scene marks it as a terrible movie from this specific time period because not only are we going to have a dance-off mandatory for every movie of this era, but the plot here is that the rival girls, so there's like some rival, the Vandergilt twins are the evil rival socialites to the Wayans brothers socialites and their core friend group. And they have boyfriends. So they have one kind of doofus boyfriend and one that's supposed to be a charming hunk that are kind of always around being the butt of the men's jokes.
Oh yeah, there's a subplot that is nothing where one of the friend girls really wants or is already fucking one of them. But
and wants them to be in love with her, and like that's like the dynamic that's going on in this club. And then Terry Crews comes in, and he somehow just kind of runs into the doofus boyfriend of the rival group, and it's just like the doofus boyfriend is just like, hey, you're trying to fuck that horrible man beast out there, right? And he's like, yeah, but it's turning out to be really tough. And he's like, well, hey, I've got some roofies. You should give her some roofies because this is 2004. And Terry Crews says, okay, I'm going to give her roofies. Again, 2004.
Yes.
Then Marlon sees that there are roofies in there and just rolls his eyes. And he's like, well, classic trying to roofie me. And he does the playful. Yeah, he does the playful counter roofie, where he counter roofies Terry Crews by switching the drinks.
Right.
Again, totally accurate portrayal of club life in the 2000s. But this all leads to a culmination where Terry Crews has accidentally roofied himself and the doofus boyfriend accidentally roofies himself. And then the next day, they wake up in bed together because they had gay sex. That's it. That's the perfect 2000s joke. It's the 2000s, everybody. We made it.
It's a really elegant 2004 joke. Absolutely.
Better than any timestamp. Like, if they had flashed the date on screen in the first frame of the film, I would not have known more than when you see those sheets.
You will never forget that this was a 2004 movie. Like, if this comes up, if you go to the wrong bar and they're like, what year was White Chicks? You first of all get out. They're going to kidnap you. That's a kidnapping bar. That's a human trafficking bar.
I'm going to tell my final draft. I'm going to go back to the 2004 edition of my final draft and just say comedy template. Yep, the scene is already in the movie for me. It's cool. Yeah, they just use the basic gay
Somehow
sex
it's
template.
already here. We wrote the movie around this. Like, this was the seed of the movie. Back in the club, they do have like a choreographed dance off with the rivals. And like, this is one of the few times where the movie that Sean was talking about comes out, where like the Wayans brothers are, oh, okay, our group is losing the dance off. We're going to come out knowing like a perfect breakdancing routine.
Exactly. Secret black guy powers.
All black men know how to breakdance. Like, that's ridiculous, right, Dennard?
Wouldn't that be just a really weird stereotype to just emerge at random points? Yeah, so when it comes to me and the breakdancing thing, by the way, you know how in your favorite films, you know, you watch a good movie down a Death of Stalin or some shit, you can almost find, like, new things to love every time, right?
Yeah.
The last time that I saw White Chicks, well, second to last time, there's a whole Discord thing. Before that, last time I'd seen White Chicks, I did not know how to breakdance. And I found just somehow, after years of hating this movie the way I do, there's just some new terrible shit.
So it's bad breakdancing
wrong.
is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yes, it is not great, and it does a bunch of sort of lazy editing things. And it's not that it's like notably bad for any given movie where breakdancing isn't the point, but that it is somehow there is always something hiding within White Chicks to liver punch you.
Yeah, I just one look at this movie and I would assume that something is there's just a Russian doll of crimes and racism in there that's just going to keep unstacking forever.
It really is, and sometimes I think they're trying to do a completionist thing, like just every axis of groups in America. Because way back during that date where he's impersonating Terry Crews, they drive everything to a halt, just to make sure to get 2 quick minutes of Asian racism, like East Asian racism in there.
I don't even remember that.
The maid, Terry's maid,
Yes. Oh, wow. Yeah, and she's like speaking Cantonese, and he's like, get the fuck out of here. Doesn't call the police, I guess. She's just like, okay.
Yeah, we can only assume that during her phone call with the police about the man breaking into her employer's home, that they are also having like stock racist reactions, I guess.
Right, like she's just screaming at them in Chinese. They're like, whoa, this isn't even a language. Sounds like she's speaking Guantanamela.
The whole movie is a neurotoxin. You can almost see the world that they do. You just stayed in Innsmouth too long and you're a fucking fish now.
And the cop's like he's an Italian cop in like a pizza chef outfit.
God.
You call him Mario's the pizza precinct.
You're traxing. That's a better movie.
You're right, I'm traxing.
All right, where are we? So
I think they just fucked. I think Terry Crews fucked the dumb guy.
Yeah, Terry Crews fucked the dumb guy, and he has to roll back into the hotel the next day in a wheelchair because Terry Crews' dick is so big it rips his asshole apart. That's the joke. That's the joke we're coming back to.
Holy crap, my mind actually defended me from that memory, like that happened in the movie.
Well, it comes around. There's one more callback to the wheelchair. The wheelchair is like a primary joke. It's a load-bearing joke for this movie, is that Terry Crews has a huge dick.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be a better joke if they like had Terry Crews in the wheelchair. And then you'd be like, what? And then you'd have to spell it out. You'd have to like look at the camera and be like, so that's what that feels like, right? But like, I still feel like that's a better direction to go with the comedy.
And then pull his tie, Rodney Dangerfield style, of course.
He's the guy with the big old hog this time.
That joke sounds like it would take like a writer like a third second of thought or to press like backspace twice or some shit. We're not about that today. Right. That's not what White Chicks is here for.
Yeah, I don't want to brag, but I'm a 2 backspace writer.
So the real socialite girls are still holed up in their hotel room when they see a paper that has like the Wilson sisters take over the Hamptons, and they're like, "Oh my God, we did it! Wait, we're not up there. We must have been cloned." And so they're gonna go up to the Hamptons and then like confront the Wayans brothers, who they believe to be their clones. Also,
this is gonna reveal my terrible art school priorities, because we are like, 3 rape jokes or rape tentpole things in, right?
I think
so. It bugs me so much. Yeah, it's way more than that, true. I guess like 3, plot essential ones.
Load-bearing rape jokes. Okay.
Load-bearing rape jokes, yeah. God. And it is insane to me that we are this many of those in, and these 2 as a core fucking plot point are just coming back now, like someone's late fucking homework, crashing back into this movie. And aren't you the premise or some shit? What the hell is happening?
Oh yeah, I forgot that was the premise.
Forgot they were in the movie.
Entirely. Also, Marlon Wayne's wife, his jealous, controlling wife, is coming up to the Hamptons. And so they're doing, it's just so funny when a terrible movie starts to do the, all the chess pieces are arriving on the board. What Machiavellian schemes am I arranging here? How shall they play against each other? And like, no, you're just going to smear them in shit and slap them on the floor. We know that.
Yep.
But you
I
think
really
like,
wish.
oh, it's all in play. It's cute that they think like third act, let's get all of the characters together, and then just I don't know, they all fart together. Is what
Do they?
You have
They at
all
least all
fallen
fall
into
down.
the web of a master storyteller.
that's the sense I get when they start doing like, oh, the pieces everybody's got to come back and have a role to play in our intricate dance. Like, yeah, dude. No, you don't have. We know you don't have it. All right, we know you're not gonna get it, and they don't. The third act is such a fucking mess.
When it comes to that whole third act shuffle, there is a moment where I'm fixated on this one scene, because when the two agents bring like the original pair back to cop conspiracy
the Wilson
0.
sisters.
The Wilson sisters.
Yeah, the Wilson sisters show back up.
When they bring them
hold on. You gotta set up that the rival FBI agents have just tossed the hotel room of the Wayans brothers and found their terrible masks and instantly reasoned, oh, these are men. So we know that this is the Wayans brothers who are doing this. And then the real girls show up.
No, then he sniffs the panties. I think it's important to tell everyone that he sniffs the panties.
Oh, right. That's another thing my brain was defending itself from. The panty sniff, to which the other one then just goes right in like a sniper with the homophobia.
Yep. He's like, those are dudes'
Sniffed a
panties.
Double
man's
tap.
panties. What you were doing wasn't gross before, but now it's disgusting. But yeah, that's the setup for what you were talking about. Now the FBI agents have just corralled the real girls, believing they're the Wayans brothers.
Yes. Oh, God. That's when it gets fucking crazy.
You start praying to fucking comedies. This is like, I know this is one of the three scenes you knew were going to be in the movie. You have something. You have to have something here. I guess he basically beats the piss out of her, but in like a Three Stooges kind of way.
Yeah. Like they're pulling on the wig. Ha, look at this wig. And it's like, oh no, that's her real hair. And they're like, okay, well, how do you explain these? Tears off her shirt. And then they're like, oh, okay, those are terrific tits. You're like, okay, end the scene. And then the other guy's like, no, how would they have these? And he's like, rips off her skirt to reveal, obviously, Shawn Wayne's penis. But instead, it's a naked woman. And now they've just stripped two women naked after kind of roughing them up a bit. I don't think it would have been better if they did rip out a man's dick. I feel like that would be like, everybody look at this man's penis. It doesn't make it better. So I feel like the plan was doomed to begin with. But the fact that they were so wrong after so much evidence, because again, these women are half the size of Sean and Marlon Wayans, without any exaggeration.
And they're not exploding Total Recall style in the vacuum of space.
That too, yeah. They are not leaking the vital essence of their life from each eyelid.
Again, I don't understand how these guys weren't promoted on the spot. This is excellent FBI work.
It's really
This
good.
is what the FBI is for.
There's a scene where they had, I think it was Marlon and the woman he's supposed to be disguised as come out together on the fashion show. And you could see them side by side and he has 9 times her face. Like it's obvious they're different people, right? Like, look at how smart we are to be able to tell the difference. But when they have them next to each other, it's like, well, there's no suspension of disbelief capable of making this movie work. They should have thrown the whole fucking idea in the trash after the first costume fitting, is my point.
I was almost on board with the fashion show part. All right, so this is like the big finale of the movie, the big final party, and the Wayans brothers, they find out that they're supposed to be headlining the fashion show, and then the real Wilson sisters, I think they are released from the FBI. They come in looking for their clones, and then nobody can tell the difference between the two. So the guy running the fashion show is like, "Oh my God, I told you guys to get in your outfits." So now they're all in the fashion show together. And I had a little bit of hope for this. Like,
yeah,
they were
it's
going to
those
come
things,
out.
like when you hit those things that are, this is the reason this movie exists. This was our vision. Please believe in it. And they're trying to do the whole who's on first thing. And
they start to have it a little bit.
I guess the best joke it has, or at least I just thought like, oh, at least you thought about this, is the first time like one from one pair and another from the other pair come out at the same time. And I'm like, oh, hey, here's a joke that's based on something other than, like, the unspoken hate that has existed between humans since Cain turned on Abel. That's cool. That's a nice change of fucking face.
Right, that's exactly what I assume. Like, here's the setup. Like, you actually have the setup. It's a little hacky. You know it's coming. Like, every part of this movie, you're marching down the gallows and you're looking right at him. You know this is coming. But you're still like, okay, well, then the real girls come out, and then the other girls come out, and people are like, oh my god, how did they do that? How did they change so fast? And then two of the allegedly the same girl come out, and like, I don't know, well, let's make a joke about, like, oh my god, one of them's a man, how did I not see that, or something, because he looks like a monster. Like, I don't know. There should be something there, but then the movie's like, no, nobody can tell the difference. Everybody's just even gently confused.
She's looking at everyone and thinking, my god, it's me. How can this be?
Everything in this movie works if this all takes place in like a Shutter Island style asylum for people with face blindness. Like all of a sudden, everything makes sense. It all hangs together.
I don't think it works. I want to try to explain this thing. So, okay, I think the Mean Girls sabotage the outfits so that Sean and Marlon Wayans come out in dumb dresses, and everyone laughs at their dumb dresses. There's like duck heads on the dresses, and it's like, ha ha ha, you look foolish. But that's not fucking real. Fashion, all kinds of fashion looks ridiculous. None of these people in the audience would know to react like this. Then the Mean Girls are up on the catwalk, and so the other friends like knock them onto the ground, and then they get carried by their own like carry plans. So they get covered in like buckets of red paint or blood or something. But the crowd loves it. The crowd's like, wow, what a powerful avant-garde artistic statement. But they're humiliated, even though the crowd loves it, and they run away. So there's just like all of these things that make no sense that also aren't being explained to the audience in the movie or the meta audience watching the movie. And so it's so... But you kind of understand as a writer like what they were trying to go for, but they just completely did not solve any of the problems that the screenplay called for. It's so fucking frustrating. Like, the whole movie should have been scrapped.
It's bizarre. You're just watching the movie crash into itself over and over again, and eventually only the islands of coherency are the hate. Like, before this whole fashion show kicks off, you have
the maracas,
the fashion designer
who was real.
He looks, the only thing real. He looks the way you're imagining. He talks the way you're imagining.
We forgot to mention one guy fucked a dog at the club. He like made out with the dog because he was on so many roofies.
That is true. Terry Cruz is was it Terry Cruz's partner?
The dumber of the boyfriends, yeah. And Sean uppercuts the dog fucker like 8 feet into the air. Sean, like about 40 minutes into the movie, Sean Wayans becomes like the Terminator. I guess I'll just say he's the Terminator. That point of reference.
So this is like the third act coming together, only the movie doesn't have anything, and I will give it credit for knowing that, because it's just like, oh shit, I don't know, and like everything happens at once. Like that was their big joke, was the Scooby-Doo door scene in the fashion show, which is again from the 1960s, 1970s. We've been doing that joke, but that was like their big finale as far as they're concerned. Now all of a sudden the kidnapper is the rival girl's father. The boyfriend's in on it. They all just pull guns and are like, guess I'm abandoning my entire life to do this kidnapping in the open.
For whatever money I get for this.
For whatever money I get for this, now that they know who I am and I have nowhere to get away. And then Sean and Marlon Wayans just jump into action and beat the shit out of some of them, and then they dive in front of bullets to save... Terry Crews dies in front of a bullet to save Marlon Wayans. Sean dies in front of a bullet to save the reporter, who's barely been in this movie. Like, all of this, if it seems rushed, it's because all of this happens within 2.5 minutes. Mm-hmm. It's just like, yeah, we brought all the pieces together. We don't know what to do with them. We're just going to smash them together and like hope something comes out of this. The wife is there. The wife and the friend are at the fashion show. They serve absolutely no purpose. She jumps on Sean at the end and pulls his mask off, but he was about to pull the mask off anyway. Right. So like half of the pieces that the master has laid on the board just don't do anything at all. And he's like, but they were there. Ha ha. Like, yeah, man, had to give him a reason to be there, and you did not.
It is majestic watching them keep reaching for these broken toys on the ground and say, this movie was actually about this. And then the head falls off the doll. Shit, okay, this movie was about this. In rapid fire, like it's trying to do a fucking card trick, and none of it's landing. It is only bringing back terrible memories.
And as one final crime, the only charming person in the movie, Terry Crews, is shot, and Marlon Wayans takes off the mask to reveal he's been a man the whole time, and this happens.
The betrayal, man. You deceived me. Calm down. I'm an FBI agent. I was uncovering a... Negro, please. Didn't somebody tell you this was an all-white party? Huh? Someone get this jigaboo away from me.
Just nuked the only goodwill you accidentally had.
It's
in
really
your movie.
Impressive to take this little premise here, right, of athletes date white women often, and push it much further than anyone would ever accept if you said it out loud before you shot it.
Cowardice, they should have fallen in love.
They should have fallen. I was actually almost confused structurally in terms of this movie having some kind of point. Like, wouldn't it have shipped them with one of the fucking friend group people? Like, oh, they have exchanged all this, and their last conversation really puts it in focus because you realize how pointless their entire non-cultural exchange has been. Like,
they're trying to wrap up everything. Like, all of a sudden, like, oh yeah, we're wrapping up the story. Let's get all the other characters in here to have a big realization. And I actually have a clip of their big realization.
So, I guess this means we won't be hanging out anymore.
Oh, don't say that. Of course we will. We'll hang out. Yeah, we're gonna all get together and we're gonna go...
That's the end. That's the end of the movie.
I think when they shout shopping in unison again is the closest a film has come to making me commit like a murder or some kind of mass self-harm. The eye twitches.
Imagine the gall to go out on, and the script has to end with, and then they all shout together, shopping, and then slam cut to guitars. Just wild, wacky guitars. It's a happy ending. Forgot to mention that Terry Crews is leaving with both of the real Wilson sisters, who are super intrigued at the prospect of getting ripped open by his huge cock. So glad we got a happy ending.
Their wheelchair is tangible.
Just real glad we got that. We shoved that last minute happy ending in for the racist rapist character.
Yeah. Thank God he got it wrapped up. If they would have had the girls come out in a wheelchair, that would have been the third wheelchair gag and a good button for the movie. Better than the word shopping. I think if they would have said shopping and then like two wheelchairs run everyone over, a better ending. Another note for white chicks to take.
If they all just inexplicably come out in wheelchairs.
Yeah, like he fucked everybody there. They all come out in wheelchairs.
It just ends on like a slow motion interpretive wheelchair dance. Just go art house.
Somehow he's in a wheelchair too. It doesn't even make fucking sense at this point.
Because fuck him.
Yeah.
He just went Mobius strip on that shit.
Yeah. And then freeze frame on a dedication to the children of the Special Olympics. You're out.
Him being a clan diversity pick almost feels like sabotage in terms of, dude, he's actually likable. We're trying to build a fucking Behelit here, and people are going to love him. What do we do? We've had him say the worst things we could think of. How do we poison this man?
They found a way. It's the only solution they found in the entire fucking screenwriting process. Is how do we make this character unlikable? They finally did something.
How do we make people not love Terry Crews? And you know what? Still kind of loved him.
Einstein, Hunter, Frankfurt. Einstein, Hunter, Frankfurt.